And even when he
case
isn't here, he's kicking ass.
Which would be that much damage.
Oof. The destroyer takes it. Perhaps fucking lodging near one of his eyes.
That's a well-placed spoon there.
Something he's probably never had thrown at him before.
With
Probably
any
not.
degree of effectiveness. Until now. Is that the end of Tempus' turn?
That is the end of Tempus.
Right, so Aurelia is like 40 meters below you and plummeting. The crow has tried to flutter after.
Huh. I mean, I could save her, but, like, what would that do? Would she be on my crow?
You couldn't even reach her with a double move.
Okay. Well, I guess her crow is what is doing what it needs to do. Then.
I hope it does.
Probably.
I mean, doesn't it?
It's flying after Aurelia.
Time will tell.
Is it nearby me?
No.
Okay, well, then I can't do anything to help her. Also, there's, like, a dragon here.
Yeah,
There is.
I took over 100 damage from it. So.
You know, maybe I should help Geráck then, to not have so much pain in his life.
Would be nice.
Though first, it would be nice if I could know. Okay. Well, guess I'm gonna move over here, and I have a cure wounds I could give him, which I think I might.
Okay.
Wait, that might even be overhealing, but when else I'm gonna use it? Probably gonna be fine with it. So, yeah, it's a ranged spell. I'll cast as a quick action. Geráck, you can heal using 2 free recoveries plus 24 HP,
Jesus, okay.
and you can roll a save if you need one.
Well, that's fully speed then.
Yeah, that's the general.
Yeah, pretty nice.
Units of recharge 16. It's like the healing spell.
Yeah. Ah! My beard has grown back.
Well, Geráck, why don't you then as a yeah, I might as well do this as well then, because you're nearby. And you probably do more. Do you do more? Yeah, you probably do more. So why don't you take a basic attack, basically just a standard attack, and then I'll expend this thing.
That hits.
My little first level thing.
And that is enough to stagger the destroyer.
Oh, Jesus.
As he's like, you know, hammer the sporg. Hammer it into its face,
Yeah.
lodging it in
Grabs
there
it with one hand,
forever.
just starts hammering it in.
It's never coming out.
The destroyer screams, and his air superiority has been greatly diminished now that he has been staggered.
All right, as the power of the elven goddess flows into Geráck, closing
And
his wound.
into the sporg.
Yeah, into the sporg as well. It burns the dragon.
And glows with elven power.
Anything else you want to do in your turn?
No, that is all my actions.
Priestess looks down at Aurelia. No way a Priestess only can do anything about that. She will extend a hand, which will mean that she will take a penalty, which will be counteracted by the buff that she's got, and fling a pure beam of holy radiance at the destroyer. That hits the destroyer. Woof!
It's a pretty good roll.
Yeah.
Probably.
Very, that was a high roll, yes.
Yeah.
And the holy radiance blasts into the creature's right eye, exploding it in a welter of gore.
Oh my.
Geráck.
Oh!
She will actually
Okay,
fly
we
up there.
wanna deal with this. So I have something for you, cause you know, seeing what's going on here, Aranas is beginning to get a little bit like, we killed one dragon. Well, it's probably gonna be okay. If we could kill the other one, that would be a major victory for good. And it is a goddamn red dragon. Now again, like, Geráck however, like, isn't really a dwarf who needs his like aid in knowing what to do when fighting these dragons, right? Even if Aranas would have a lot of aid, maybe Geráck doesn't need it against dragons. So Aranas will simply tell him, call out to him that you know what to do, Geráck. Spending my remaining command points to give him an extra standard action.
Nice.
Well, that one of those command points would be from your final of the fight, and
Yes.
you did describe that. Okay, you can take an extra standard action this turn, then, Goger.
These ones are gone.
Right. I was also thinking of using my flying shoes to fly on top of the dragon, so he can't escape.
You have 2 standard actions this turn, so
If you want to fly on top of the dragon, and if you end up sending it plummeting, you might not be able to escape either.
I would suggest you use a standard action to hurt him first.
Yeah,
and
sure.
see what happens.
Let's hit him. Let's use one of my extra smite evils.
Okay, I'm gonna use one of the daily smite evils.
Yeah. Oh, that's terrible.
That is a catastrophic miss.
Yeah. And then the second attack.
That is a catastrophic miss.
I thought you knew what to do.
I didn't, apparently.
Don't hit the tail. This is useless to it.
And while you've managed to destabilize the creature, it is not felled.
No.
At least you've challenged it, right?
Yeah, it is challenged. Should I fly on top of it?
I don't think so.
No.
I mean, you could, but it's up to you.
It may carry you away. It's up to you.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of just like fly away with you and then leave. Like,
probably will.
if we die together.
Which, while might be wonderful for a Paladin of the Great Gold Worm to go to bed knowing, it's whether Geráck wants to do that.
Not at the moment. Maybe later.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if it tries to fly away, you can get to punch it, right? So,
Yeah.
we'll probably not kill it. It's probably gonna lie.
Punch it. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah.
Man,
Okay.
I hope you would do better than that.
I hope so too.
Actually destroyed it. Yes, there was the potential for doing better than a 4 and a 2.
Damn
Yes, Action Psychic Destroyer rumbles. It does sound like a throaty chuckle through his bleeding throat. I am not the craven my fallen brother is. You will burn with me, Paladin. And the Destroyer inhales deeply and spews his fiery breath. This will go against Geráck first to satisfy that quality.
Yeah.
And target 2 nearby enemies. Well, how about that? With that in mind, then, who would it hate the most after everything?
That is the question, isn't it?
There's a lot of tempting targets.
Oh, hi there.
Come give it to me then. If you got to do anyone, I am a
nice line
champion
there.
of holy light. A
Yes,
blessed
but-
warrior of good.
But you didn't hit him with a spork.
That's now
That's true.
banded into his forehead.
This will go against Geráck first, as noted.
Oh, fuck.
That is just barely not a crit with his air superiority. And this burns into Tempus, and Tempus will most definitely take 40 points of damage. Nah, that doesn't save him.
I had to check.
I love how you're
Yeah,
doing
no
Gryph's
armor.
move, like...
But surely he has momentum at this point.
He does have momentum, yes, but the thing is, I don't see a macro for roll with it, so I don't know if he has the feat or not. So if I can apply this,
He may
So
very
I-
well have swapped it out. Well, he can
so
eat
I have
that
to assume
40
no, he
points.
doesn't. So he has to take the damage.
He has to eat that 40 points of fire damage. Which is still not enough to make him fear the red dragon. Close!
I just saw the red text there and assumed it was a crit again.
It was really
red text is
close
fire.
for
I'm
Geráck.
not seeing any. I'm not seeing any colored text.
Oh. The fire damage.
Yes.
It's red.
It turns out the Harbinger is dead. Jasmine.
Wow, that's one. She looks over and like, what the hell? Oh, Aurelia. In the distance.
Geráck swinging in Vayne towards the
That was a thing. Before returning her attention to something she really, really wants to kill. Doesn't particularly like red dragons. No, does anyone? I guess just swing with her longsword is all she can really do.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. Oof.
Well,
That's
Not
your
bad.
that's a bow.
though.
That was a bow.
That's definitely a bow attack.
You swing with your bow.
That was a bow. That should be 1 at 29 to hit, and I'll roll the damage manually.
29 does
That's
hit.
good.
Which case that is going to go ahead and be.
I swing the longbow. Definitely less devastating.
Yes, most certainly that is.
Should have swung the longbow.
Probably to piss off the magic item a little bit.
Is there
Unfortunately,
any...
that was not even, so I can't make a second attack.
Okay.
I mean, I don't see why you. Well, I guess the -2 and the skill check is a good reason not to use 2 heavy weapons.
Yes, the skill check is most notably my worry right now.
Yeah. That's like an instant death.
Because I don't feel like falling from the heavens.
Anything else for your turn, Dark?
Shout curse words at the giant red dragon.
Now, Sheep, I am completely happy with helping a bro out here. Because what you did was really cool. And
Alright.
fit in with the flavoring of the monk. So I tell you what, there's something that I know you can do because you have the Leaf on Wind talent, and that is called the Wind's Comrade, which allows you to spend a point of key to gain flight until the end of your turn, yeah?
Yes.
If you do that combined with activating your once per battle with Leaf on Wind, which the battle's about over, so I think that's okay. You spend the key point and do that, I will allow you to catch up to the crow by springboarding off the dragon and giving me a flavorful description. Otherwise, the crow's not catching you, I don't think.
Alright, I was in fact going to suggest a very similar thing. So I'll be totally willing to do that.
If you have a better idea, you can certainly suggest it to me.
No, I think this will work.
Okay.
So the scene as it currently stands is this like partly exploding, erupting like corpse of a dragon, like with like fiery blood and whatnot. Aurelia kind of standing on it, although that's not really the appropriate phrase because both the things are currently plummeting to the ground. But still, Aurelia has enough hold on the thing, like using her like claws or something, or her tail, and will essentially do just that. Go in a crouch and catapult herself upwards in a sense, in a physics-defying way, just being almost lighter than air as she. As soon as the momentum of the jump starts waning, she'll kind of spread her arms and legs and, well, even tail to offer as much wind resistance as possible, falling slower and hopefully being just enough for the crow to finally catch up.
That is, the crow tapers off in its own dive bomb, squawking in surprise at your flaming body as it, like, launches into the air and then spreads arms and legs. Most certainly, an entire turn spent on that allows you to get back on the crow instead of in your free fall. You will take 40 points of fire damage, and you should make a save against that.
Alright, that is a failure.
Okay.
So is that 40 points of ongoing then?
Yes, it is ongoing.
That's fine.
Your body is being eaten away by all of the blood and smoke that is on your skin. So it turns out being on top of the dragon whenever you kill the dragon.
It might eat away at Aurelia's body, but it's not going to eat away at her satisfaction.
Sure not. You should not. No, not a chance. That was incredible. Speaking of incredible,
Tempus is going to go ahead and fly into the fray.
No more spoons.
No more spoons.
There is no more spoon.
doesn't want to donate any more cutlery to charity.
Oh.
No more cutlery to charity, I'm afraid. As he's going to fly in now without momentum. Actually, I just removed that now because he got hit.
Yeah, most certainly did.
As he's going to go ahead and this certainly counts as one staggered non-mook enemy.
Sure does.
As he's going to deadly thrust at the dragon.
That seems reasonable.
What's the escalation die?
It is true. That is not enough to hit.
No, it is not enough to hit.
As it turns out, rolling a 3 is very poor for hitting. He will take the miss damage, though.
Yes, he can take the 8 miss damage, and Tempus can be sad.
Aranas, this is your chance!
Yes, it's my chance.
Because Geráck couldn't finish the job.
Can't finish the job. He doesn't know what to do.
His hands are too short, man.
I've never really fought a dragon in the air
My
before.
hands are too short.
I need a longer weapon.
I
What
can't
did
reach
they
your
teach
face.
you in dwarf kindergarten?
To fight on the mountains, not on crows. Well, you can give a description, Manaki.
Well, you know, be in Elven sort of just grasp like the bird's like neck with one hand, like it's like feathers, it's like neck feathers. He's sort of raising up slightly on its back, sort of resting his legs on the wings as he flies forward, basically quickly moving. Now that everyone's like missing it, Tempus trying to get at it and such. The dragon trying to fight off like 3 people. It blots its neck as he flies in and simply jams the tooth of the green into the dragon's neck, sort of deeply into its system before wrenching it out again. Yeah, effectively making it almost a bite mark in the neck.
The light in the dragon's mouth, the fire, immediately dies. The eyes swivel towards the final offender, Aranas. And the creature chokes and coughs a few times. And then the wings stop and the dragon plummets towards the Midland Sea.
See, from one dragon to another. Where's the dragons falls? It's a long time since the Truth of the Green has killed one of its brethren. Last time it was in its mouth, so...
That will be an end to combat.
Yeah, Geráck immediately looks back to make sure Aurelia is okay. Looks down.
Oh, she's slightly on fire, but you know,
Yes,
if you
you
can
will,
make out her expression, she'll look rather
You
satisfied.
will take the 40 points of damage one more time and then are assumed to auto-succeed on your save.
All of these things are gone.
Having shaken off the...
I'd have overdone it a little bit.
Yes, grand acceleration into the air is totally known to put out fires, right?
Yeah.
Perhaps a light rainstorm begins.
Localized.
And helps to wash off all the searing blood.
I will roll some recharge rolls, just so I'll post them like this. Nope.
Yeah.
Of course, one of Geráck's daily uses of Smite Evil is gone.
Indeed. One left.
Nope.
We'll also use a recovery.
I printed a lot of stuff in this battle, but I think we did well, so
Yeah, we did.
nope, nothing. Alright.
Yes, you are able to take quick rests such as they are, with the crows swarming around each other to, like, gather you back together.
Are they impressed?
They're happy to be alive.
Aranas will say to the crow, "See, the goddess held her hand over us. Those two will not bother us anymore."
Or anyone, for that matter.
The two dragons do take some time, but eventually the Harbinger plummets into the Midland Sea with a small explosion of, like, water and smoke. And then a short time later, the Destroyer himself falls into the water as well.
That was certainly amazing, really, although a bit foolhardy, maybe.
I wasn't ready to let him get away.
The crow beneath Aurelia screams, "She's crazy! I'd rather carry you, fat one!"
What? I'm not fat, I'm just wearing heavy armor.
Sometimes you must have faith that what you believe is right is indeed the right thing to do. I commend you. Say, looking to Aurelia.
Thank you. I do think I understand this whole faith thing at least a little better now.
No. I suppose we carry on.
If there's
So
any...
there'll be plenty of time to talk about it, I imagine.
Yes, you folks, if there is any plenty of time that you folks want to have to discuss things as a few more days pass over the Midland Sea, you're more than welcome to talk. The crows are squawking all kinds of things about how incredibly dangerous or incredibly absurd that was, and how, like, one of them thinks they should have stayed behind in the wild wood, that this was too stupid. The other one hopes that there's no more dragons. No more dragons.
Speak and say, I did request quite the amount of power from the goddess for dealing with those two. In the, you may not rely upon me with as much protection as I provided you here in the battles to come. Even my faith is not strong enough to channel such energies because my physical body would simply not be able to handle it.
I did feel a hand watching over me during that battle, and I certainly appreciate it.
In time, land will be spotted, although it does take some days of transition to get from the interior of the Midland Sea to the northern shores of the Dragon Empire, to the Fangs, in fact. The crows do their best to fly, even fueled by potions of rejuvenation, though they aren't the strongest, and they do have to work at times against the winds, particularly as you do enter the Fangs area. The rivers are swollen with water. As it turns out, that part is true, and looking down from your lofty position, it's easy to see how horrific of a logistic nightmare that would be to try and bring any army from the Midland Sea up to the mountains. The entire ecosystem here has been destroyed by an unrelenting storm that has persisted for months, as the Orb of Storms has roiled to sheath Prince Zarza's castle in protective waves. The winds are stronger up here, and the crows slow down and hunch somewhat closer to the ground as they fly you across the Fangs. The storms do persist. Looking ahead to the horizon to the north, you can see the powerful, dark, malevolent clouds that greeted you upon your initial trek here so much time ago, and they still spill snow, in fact, upon the ground. Up here in the hills, which do rise into mountains, it is a winter wonderland of sorts, where the terrain is so cold that the snow and ice remain on the ground. The crows do shiver greatly, unused to these conditions. These would be the conditions they fly from. Especially, there is such a significant temperature difference between the wild wood, where spring is actually in bloom, and up here, where unnatural cold and the Orb of Storms have frozen the land. Still, the crows do fulfill their end of the bargain, and with the passage of several more days, it is slower going here. And they are more concerned now as they're approaching danger. They do manage to get you to the point where even through the darkness of ice, you are able to see Prince Zarza's castle looming on the horizon. And there is smoke also as well, rising from the castle wall, as a huge chunk of a side that basically faces towards, we'll say, the Queen's Wood is actually in rubble.
Well, Aranas is somewhat dreading and somewhat curious to see what the joined Santa Cora and Elf Queen forces might have accomplished here.
Surveying the landscape as well as you are capable of doing, it seems that there are no more flying creatures playing along the spires. No. Flying creatures instead have descended down to the castle, and specifically to its courtyard, where great fighting has taken place. Perhaps only recently. Perhaps just declared, maybe if not today, then yesterday. Teeming bodies, it's so hard to make out at this distance, but the crows do take you closer, are fighting one another. And whatever living forces are there, they are slowly being pushed back and eviscerated. Elves, humans, even some dwarves and gnomes smattered in as well, throwing their powers of light and energy at the scene. And, oops, that's the wrong button. End up basically I lost my train of thought because I pressed the wrong button. Ends up being not enough. The inexhaustible waves of undead keep rising as bodies keep falling. Still, there is a great deal of commotion, not just in the courtyard, but inside the castle itself. One of the spires has been cracked, as if a gigantic hole has been blown through it, and through the myriad of windows you can even see fighting inside the castle itself. For now, you actually do have air superiority of a sort. There does not seem to be anything that immediately rises to pluck the crows out of the air, although there is a great deal of snow and ice that is falling from above.
Well, is there any way to see where we? I mean, where do we anticipate this orb being? Probably in some center location, no?
Yeah, probably inside the central keep.
Do we want to aid all these people with fighting the undead, or do
can't.
we want to just like?
We should just use this as a distraction and head inside right away. There's a convenient hole in the roof, apparently.
Yes, it's the side of one of the spires.
That seems
Perhaps
like as
if
good a
we-
place as any.
I mean, perhaps these undead are not just rising as a basis of the place, but being raised by someone in there too.
Yeah.
Maybe like fighting that person.
And if we attack there, most of them will probably like focus on us instead,
Yeah, like we might aid these people.
indirectly.
Alright, then if there's no dissension from that,
Probably let them know as well, maybe to raise their morale that there are reinforcements.
who's going to care about 6 individuals shouting at them from on top of the storm?
Depends on how much power we show, but
I mean, you're more than welcome to do that if you want. Currently, you don't
I
appear to
am
have been
ready.
noticed.
yeah, let's just head inside.
Yeah, we came here for a reason. We should complete that mission first before trying to help others. Priorities.
We will also probably help them by distracting some of the forces.
As you say then, Mr. Paladin.
The
Of course, we're
crow-
kind of screaming it, though.
Yes. The crows readily agree and are very happy to get out of possible sight, although they are greatly nervous once again. More so. The dead have a tendency to spook animals, as it turns out. Even intelligent ones, such as these kind crows. Landing you inside one of the spires, it does appear to be at least landing in what might have been a library of sorts, completely wrecked and ruined, as if a great fire spread through this one particular building. There are the sounds of fighting and commotion coming from deeper within the castle itself, screams of horror and of determination, as war is waged between the stones.
Alright.